many friends do you have? I bet it's more than me. My name is Kheara, and I have no friends. Today is April 9th, 2023. Now, what is a friend? The definition is someone who you have a bond of mutual affection for, the state of being friends, typically exclusive of sexual or family relations. Different types of friends can consist of, but are not limited to, friendships of utility, pleasure, and virtue. The intimacy of friends varies from friendly acquaintances to casual friends, close friends, best friends, and lifelong friends. I have none of these, obviously. What is not a friend? Acquaintances and coworkers. You can befriend them, but they're not inherently your friend. Public figures. It's just a parasocial relationship. They don't know you, and you only know what they allow you to know. Family, technically, they can be
sisters by chance, friends by choice.
but they're part of family relations, and you grew up with them, so it kinda doesn't count. Objects, fictional characters, and pets. There's an argument for pets, but they don't really know what's going on. My pet snake doesn't love me anyway, so objects and fictional characters, though, they are not real. Like, you can't actually interact with them. So, again, it's just one sided. Clearly, I'm not an expert on friendship. My experience is very limited. On top of being socially awkward, the friends I had were not ideal. That being said, how do I define friends? Someone whose last name I know. We have each other's numbers. I text, call, and interact with them outside of our usual environment. I sit with them at lunch. Someone I can have a casual chat or a deep conversation with. Someone I enjoy being around and I'm excited to spend time with them, whose interests, hobbies, and habits I know. Someone who actually puts in the effort to reach out, include me, and cares about my personal life. We share an understanding, experiences, support, and trust. Someone who has common interests, similar humor, and values. Someone who knows my favorite snacks, what kind of music I like, or acknowledges my silly references. That's what I think a friend is. And I don't think that's too much to ask for in a friendship either, because I'd much rather have no friends at all than a fake friend that doesn't appreciate me. Life without friends is pretty chill. Being alone is not the same as being lonely. The things I do don't require friends. I'm not desperate and deprived of affection either. So my life is routine, boring, and uneventful. Just the way I like it. I eat alone at lunch in restaurants. I don't have to remember special dates or spend money on gifts. I'm not stressed out over someone else's problems. I'm not concerned with people judging or fitting in. I'm not dependent on anyone, and I have a very strong relationship with myself. I'm not completely isolated either. The closest person to me currently is my middle older sister. I talk to my family and occasionally coworkers, and I comment on a smaller YouTube channel, and they respond. But no one is my unrelated or close friend. Honestly, I feel great being friendless. It's even a running joke in my family. I have no friends, and it's never been an issue. I enjoy my life, and I'm happy with just myself. Even when I'm bored of being boring, I entertain myself by talking to myself, making up scenarios, daydreaming about fiction, remembering funny things, explaining something, and acting out conversations. I have fun knowing what's going on in my head. Some people might think that's depressing, but I really don't mind. Ironically, I once told a friend I see the value in friendship, but it's not a necessity for me. That's still true to this day. Of course, there are some times when I think friends would be nice and we can do something fun together, but the things I do for fun don't need another person. And I've been on dates, watched movies, and played games with friends before. It is nice. I'm a homebody and I love my me time. I like watching YouTube, Movies, shows, dramas, and anime. I like reading webcomics and manga, cooking, baking, eating, listening to music and my sisters talk, playing video games. Most of my time spent consists of content consumption. One of the side effects of being born in the internet age with an abundance of stories, worlds, and characters. It's how I connect with the people I love. The thing is, I'm the bestest friend I could ask for. I like what I like, I hate what I don't. I know and love who I am, and I enjoy my own presence immensely. I have high self-value and security. That's why I'm okay without friends.
Do you like yourself?
What's not to like?
Why I don't have friends. It's not like I avoid any human interaction. I've always thought, a friend group that I could share everything with would be amazing. It just kind of happened. The circumstances I was in led me to distance myself from the people I was initially friends with. I had a lot of friends of convenience, friends from class and clubs. I would see them every day at school and I would talk to them because they were familiar. Then lockdown happened, and on multiple occasions I reached out, but over time we saw less of each other and it wasn't convenient anymore. I stopped because I was focusing on myself. They never checked up on me and I didn't care. Maybe because I was ugly and cringy, they didn't think I was worth the time to get to know on a deeper level.
And Mrs. Cow, take that bag off your udder. You're a beautiful girl. You live in the forest, so why don't you just let it hang out? Yo, put that bag back on.
In the time I took to learn about myself, I grew up a little, had a lot of positive growth, and gained an abundance of self-value. The friends I was closest with either ghosted me or I ghosted them. I outgrew the facade I put up to seem normal.
You know, it's a funny thing, Squidward. I smoothed out the edges of my personality and the rest just followed suit. Now I am utterly normal.
When I was ignorant, I outgrew my old friendships because I didn't think we had much in common anymore. I moved on, and I don't think anyone I was friends with before would want to be friends again. I celebrated my last birthday on my own with no family or friends, and it was one of the best birthdays I can remember. All the others were underwhelming and disappointing. One friend from a summer program wished me happy birthday. I was actually supposed to schedule a date with her, and I haven't texted her back in a couple months. I'm sorry about that. I'll probably contact you after this, but I've just been putting it off because I feel guilty. In general, I didn't have many friends to begin with, but a lot of people knew who I was. My sisters had positive reputations in high school, so from my friends from high school, some of them didn't have my number saved anymore. One was a little annoying. One never followed through. I contacted her in early December, and we texted off again, on again throughout that, and I've been waiting for a hangout since. Two of them I wasn't really close with anyway, and one I actually tried to break up with many times before we stayed friends because I didn't really have anything better to do, and I don't know his reason, but I know I was over it before we stopped communicating. I thought of seeing how he was because it was his birthday earlier too, but I didn't want to ruin his mood, and I also remembered he was kind of condescending and probably still on his Jesus shit, which I wasn't into, so I left it. If you're seeing this, you know who you are. Hope you're doing well, but if not, I'm friendless, not heartless, and I'm available if you need support. Currently, the only people I see are my coworkers and family. There have been some cool people I've met at work. I talked to like 5 people about the things outside of work, and I know like 60 people's names, but I don't think most of them know who I am. In recent development, I got 2 people's numbers. I actually went on a snow cone and mall date with one girl and talked to a couple people about anime and my upcoming tattoo. For any future friends, especially if you live in San Antonio, Texas or Leeds, UK, if you didn't think I was completely insufferable or even interesting, what you doing?
What you doing? What you doing?
You may be thinking, if I already don't have any friends and I'm not doing the most to make new friends, then why am I even making this video? Because I do what I want when I want. This is my video and my channel. Why are you watching? I just want to share my experience, not to complain or anything. I wonder if there are people like me, especially in this timeline, having no friends is common. I have good vibes. Want to be my friend or not? We can start by getting to know each other. This is my first official video. I tried to script it out, and you can probably see me reading. I'm using my webcam mic, so if it's bad, that's the reason. You know, you have to start somewhere. I recorded a couple other practice videos, but I still have to get used to the camera. So I wanted to start a YouTube channel since middle school, so this is only the beginning of what I want to create. All of my videos will be for me to document my life events and adventures, and for me personally, video essays and diaries are the best way to express myself and look back on how I've grown in the future. I tried journaling, but my handwriting is ugly and my jokes and thoughts never come out the way I want to when I can't digitally edit my words. And when I do voice notes, you can't see my expressions or hand gestures, so that's also a no. I just needed a topic that was straightforward for my first video. Also, I have a feeling I might make a couple friends soon. I even got a fortune that said I would, so I wouldn't be able to make this video afterward. Low-key, I hope I don't sound super emo or something, like nobody understands me. I do have a question. Can you count how many times I said friend? Anyway, this is being friendless. See ya.